Hello, this is a video review of Conduit 2. I bought the game when it came out at the night of 12 a.m. on April 18th, which would be April 19th then. I got the game and I couldn't play it until the next day because of damn school. So once I got to play it, I was surprised by the beginning pre-rendered cutscene. Now let's begin with the story. Conduit 2 takes place right after Conduit 1, with Michael Ford going into the Conduit after Adams. After he goes in, once he's in the Conduit, he's in this big wormhole, and there's a girl, or Andromeda, as you meet later in the game, she says, "You who doomed us all." Now keep that in mind throughout the entire game, and up to the end of the game, because you will know why "you who doomed us all." You will know why she says that, because in the end, you just know you're fucked. That's what I'm going to say. By the way, warning, this entire review is based on my opinion and how I see fit and like the game. Everything I say is debatable. At the end of the video, I will put up the ending of Conduit 2, so watch out. Spoilers. There are spoilers throughout this video, so if you have not played the game, I recommend not playing this, or listening to this, or watching me do my thing. Now, when Michael Ford is on the oil rig, he encounters several different enemies, and you can notice that the graphics and the environment graphics and the detail and the effects of your surrounding areas is pretty good for a Wii game. By far the best I've seen for a Wii game. Metroid Prime is only just as much as Conduit, in my opinion, of course. I think the graphics are at least identical, if not the exact same, but you know, it's a very good looking game. Now, the first boss, you can already tell that everybody should already know that is the Leviathan. Now, one great addition that they added to the gameplay was boss battles. Now, at the end of almost every chapter, you have to fight a boss with a certain amount of experience. I meant behavior, with a certain amount of HP. But every boss battle is completely different. The Leviathan, you have to use turrets to kill it. One of the progenitors, Lee, who you fight because of a misunderstanding, and in which you kill, you have to use your own guns. And every time he gets angry, he gets bigger, stronger, and much more difficult to take down. You fight a gunship, and this is another spoiler that you should already know, is that he, or should have guessed, he fights Adams in his regular human form and his progenitor form. Now, the gameplay is solid. It is very good for a first-person shooter on the Wii. They added an iron sights feature for a few guns, all human guns, and a few different kinds of guns, which is a bonus because headshots were kind of hard to get even with Z targeting in the first game. They added a sprint feature by holding C down, and to crouch, you just have to click C and you will crouch. And to uncrouch, you can of course jump or click C again. Now, adding a sprint feature was very good because just walking around just put a little the gameplay. They opened up the areas a bunch. You are outside at least half the game, and other half of the game you're inside fighting enemies. And even though you are inside, at least the hallways are not as repetitive, and in the entire gameplay, the voice acting was very good because, sorry, it's burning up. The voice acting was good because in the first game it made Michael Ford seem like such a low-life, nothing but serious man. But Conduit 2, he becomes a little bit more lively and has more of a humor, even with Prometheus. And he becomes a better character. I think he is a much more well-developed character in Conduit 2. Conduit 1, he was just a Secret Service agent who was fighting aliens. Now let's get with a little bit more of the story. I like how every place you go to relates to the main part of the story. Even in the optionals, you have to get the optionals. No, let's go back to gameplay. You can get the optional maps, which you get from scanning them throughout the campaign, which would be probably the Washington DC. You get most of everything there, and the rest you can just get optionally. You can choose your missions. You are in a hub, the Atlantis hub, and there are two places you go to. One to check out your weapons and loadouts. The other to choose your location. After you release Andromeda, she will take you to any location you want. Yet the location area, the location dialer, it tells you how much you've collected, what you've collected, and it shows the map and a little bit of detail about it. Now, every kind of thing is in there. You go from regular mission part 1 to mission part 2, and then the boss battle of that mission, and with everything else. And there are a few, probably 3 optional areas where you just go in, and it's like an invasion mode area. Well, it is there. There are 3 optionals, and they are in fact the invasion mode maps. But they are a little bit like invasion, but they don't raid you or anything. They stay where they are, and they will spawn, and they will try and kill you from a certain distance. Once you reach a certain area, they will try to kill you, of course. Once you go to these optional areas, you are able to get tons, and at least 10 different unlockables. You can get new blueprints, not new maps, I haven't seen one, new upgrades, energy, all kinds of stuff. It is incredible. Note that by the end of the video, I will include those little suckers. I'm going to include the bonuses from Conduit 2. I'm going to include the codes at the bottom. You probably might or might not have it, and I hope they do not take my video down because I include them, because they are always around the web somewhere. But I'm going to include them at the bottom of my video so everybody can have them. Even though having the same good golden destroyer armor everywhere wouldn't be much of a variety, but everybody wants something, and if they deserve it, then you should just go ahead and get it. The codes are pretty simple, and they're not really hard. I could understand the EYEOFRA would be simple, but the Conduit Golden Destroyer armor it's a little bit more complex. A little bit. And it looks very good. I don't have to buy any kind of armor for it. It just looks exceptionally well. And I enjoy that. Now, I enjoy how they added a store system where you can buy weapons even though you don't have to. You will find most, if not all, weapons in the campaign if you know where to look and if you've gotten everything. Pretty much the only things you'd have to buy were upgrades, specializations, most likely armor, just to customize your person, and that's just about it. Probably a little bit of upgrades and such. Different kind of focuses, different grenades. I haven't been able to buy them yet, but I'm sticking with frag. I like frag better. The profile and loadouts, they are very well. All you have to do is choose a weapon by pressing minus on the main menu screen. You go to your profile, you customize your model up to different colors, and you do have to buy colors, but the basic ones are still there, like red, green, yellow, not black, but maybe silver. And I have a silver golden destroyer armor. But if you have the golden destroyer armor, it doesn't affect the main gold of the armor. It only affects pretty much the lights in the visor. But it still looks pretty cool. It looks like a mix of liquids. I will also include my friend code at the end of the video. And I give this game a 9.8 because the story kept me throughout the first game, and I like the second game. There were only a few weapon changes that I did not want to happen, like the strike rifle. It had just a laser. It wasn't the semi-automatic radiation beam that I used to like and love and get thousands of headshots with. There are a few focuses and stuff like that and upgrades that just should have been already on the character, like the Widowmaker turret. They should have already had that on the Widowmaker as an automatic turret. Yeah, I found it a little bit hard to do it on my own, so well, what are you gonna do? I give it a 9.8 because there are a few mishaps. I have, in fact, played the multiplayer. The multiplayer is the best one I've seen on any first-person shooter because there aren't that many on the Wii, and it is the best one yet. The game modes vary from lots, even though it says frag bag or free for all. You go in, and once you enter the system, it'll come up with a random mode, and usually the lobbies are already running a game, so you would just join, and once the game is over, you would look for a mode, you would vote on it, and you would get right into the game. The loading to the multiplayer is a lot faster. It takes half the time to load and half the time to check for updates, which is great. There's a rival system. You can just immediately send a rival system in the main lobby, and you can they can accept it right away, and you can start chatting from right then. Friend codes are still taken for people who are friends across the internet and such. But overall, I've only seen, and I hope that they do patch it. When I was playing multiplayer last, I saw, and I couldn't believe with my eyes, that there was a hacker in the premises. I was playing with high voltage software. It's an HVS Keith, HVS Sarah, HVS whatever. I was playing with high voltage software employees, so I hope that they saw what I was seeing and they patch it up or they ban them from the game, because nobody wants party poopers, especially me. And I am a griefer. I'm a griefer in Team Fortress 2, but I don't grief all the time, and my friends know that. Now this is the end of the video. Now this is the part, but overall a very great game. This is the end of the video. This is where I will tell you the end of Conduit 2, because it is just such an awesome ending. I cannot hold it in any longer. I have to tell somebody. My brother really wouldn't give a shit, and neither the rest of my family, and I don't really have that many friends, and the friends I have on Steam, they don't even have the game, so I'm just going to tell you guys who want to know about the end. If you want to know about the end, continue listening, and if you do not, then pause the video right now and just go ahead and comment, like, dislike, whatever. So here's the end of the game. In the end of the game, if the Atoms invades the Atlantis hub through the conduit that you go through in to go to your missions, and you fight him in his human form. After you defeat him in his human form, he turns into his progenitor mode, or his drudge mode, and he's pretty big for a drudge. You fight him and Agartha, whether they said you were, but it's just one small area where you fight Atoms as the final boss of the video game. After you defeat Atoms, you get the souls that he took away from you from the other progenitors. You get them back in the ASC, and the ASC goes haywire. Oh, this is a pre-rendered cutscene right here. It looks badass. The ASC sends a beam of light into space from the center of the Earth in Agartha, and it does it to one of these giant, like, tripod, like, sphere objects, like the ones you see in Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. These very big tripod with a sphere at the end. It's like a cone, but it's like an ice cream cone with the ice cream on it, except that it opens in a three-way. A big ass red and black machine is activated and is going towards Earth light speed. And while the beam is going through space, you can hear Andromeda saying, "You who doomed us all." And then the ship is activated and it light speeds going to Earth. And you know right then that you just fucked up everything. You think you're all fucked, it's over, it's game over. But no, through the conduit that you went in to get to Agartha comes what I could not believe. Through the conduit came all the presidents of U.S. history in black destroyer armor. Ford was like, "Wait, you are," and that was Abraham Lincoln said, "We are here to help you." And even after it started zooming out of the entire area with all the presidents in their destroyer armor, it showed all the presidents coming out except for the current live ones, all the dead ones from back in the day. Yeah, that was the most awesomest ending I've ever had, the most unexpected. Now this is one of the best games I've ever played, and I say that I hope you get it too, and See you on the battlefield in multiplayer. I will put my friend code in the description. Thank you very much.